When 5 Rafales sliced through Indian skies in July 2020, it wasn't just a delivery, it was a declaration, a message to both friends and foes. Welcome back to a new episode of the GRYD Decode series. And today, buckle up. We're talking about the Rafale Factor. India had just upped the game. But is Rafale a true force multiplier or just a well-packaged political win? Let's find out. India started its hunt for a modern multi-role fighter back in 2007. The goal? Fill the gap between aging MiGs and overloaded Su-30s. 6 contenders entered the ring, from Eurofighter Typhoon to the American FA-18 Super Hornet. But in 2012, the French Rafale emerged victorious. Why? Because of superior avionics, combat versatility, and long-range strike capabilities. But then, the turbulence began. Negotiations dragged, political storms brewed, and finally, in 2016, India signed a 36-jet deal with France worth 7.87 billion euros. While opponents cried foul over price opacity, strategic thinkers knew India was buying not just jets, but a doctrine-altering edge. India didn't want an off-the-shelf jet. It wanted Rafales tailored for Himalayan warfare, equipped with Israeli helmet sights and encrypted IFF systems. Bottom line, these birds were built for India, not showroom display. Behind the decade-long delay lay 2 factors often overlooked: India's insistence on sovereign customizations and the global shift in warfare doctrine post-2014. When negotiations resumed under a government-to-government format, India demanded specific adaptations, from cold start takeoff capability in Himalayan terrain to Israeli helmet-mounted sights and encrypted identification friend or foe IFF systems. These Rafales weren't off the shelf. They were precision-configured platforms for India's twin-front contingency. So why, or we can say how, the Rafale changed the game? The answer is in its technology. This jet isn't just fast, it's lethal and smart. Its RBE-2 AESA radar can track 40 targets simultaneously, with a 100+ kilometer air-to-air lock-on range. The Spectra EW suite can jam enemy radars, deploy decoys, and survives hostile skies. Meteor missile, the crown jewel, over 150 kilometers range, outranging China's PL-15 and Pakistan's AIM-120C. And if that's not enough, SCALP cruise missiles, Exocet for maritime strike, close air support, air superiority, and nuclear deterrence, all in one jet. Here's the best part. Rafales can operate from Leh, Hasimara, and Ambala, even where Su-30s struggle. Traditionally, India followed a reactive air defense doctrine, but with Rafale, India has entered the age of offensive counter-air. Now, imagine this. Rafale takes off from Ambala, stays inside Indian airspace, and fires a SCALP missile that destroys a high-value target in Rawalpindi or Sargodha, all before the enemy even scrambles their jets. That is deterrence by denial. Yes, there were big headlines when India bought Rafales at a very heavy price from France. Gamechanger jet lands in Ambala, Defense Minister tweets. Critics say, PR stunt. But here's the hard truth. India lacked Western origin multi-role fighters. Rafale brought that with a 60% plus operational availability, way better than the Su-30's 45–50%. And it was combat ready from day one. Although still it's not all perfect. Only 36 jets, not enough to transform the entire IAF. No technology transfer, unlike the Tejas program. But it's a leap, not a stumble. But hey, this is not enough. Here's something less spoken, but more serious. Rafale may replace the Mirage 2000 in India's nuclear command structure. With its low radar signature, terrain-hugging ability, and pinpoint strike capacity, it's the perfect second strike jet under India's no first use doctrine. Even across the border, Pakistan admits the challenge. Retired Pakistan Air Force Air Commodore Kaiser Tufail said, Rafale introduces a disruptive capability. Its standoff weapon loadout and survivability complicates our air dominance calculus. Now that's saying something. It's not just India, UAE, Egypt, Indonesia, they all fly Rafale. Add to that France's bases in Djibouti and Réunion, and you get a NATO Indo-Pacific bridge. Now imagine this. India operating Rafale-M from INS Vikrant. For the first time, Navy and Air Force will fly the same jet. Spare parts, pilot training, combat coordination, one powerful ecosystem. Rafale is not just a headache for Pakistan. In fact, for China too. Rafales from Leh or Hassamara can fly terrain-hugging profiles into China-occupied Ladakh using terrain-following radar, staying below radar detection. Chinese bases like Hotan and Gari, at high altitudes, suffer operational handicaps. Rafale, meanwhile, can strike without even crossing the LAC. So is Rafale a force multiplier? The answer is big yes. Rafale didn't just enter Indian service. It redefined air dominance in a region long dictated by numbers and legacy systems. It brought a kill from distance doctrine, unmatched electronic survivability, and the power to strike without warning. Yes, the media storm exaggerated its role. 36 aircraft won't transform the IAF alone, but for India's two-front planning, it closes dangerous gaps. And for adversaries used to air superiority or standoff sanctuary, it changes the equation entirely. From reactive to preemptive, from numbers to doctrine, Rafale changed the mindset. As Dr. Vipin Narang of MIT said, Rafale in Indian Air Force hands is less about the jet and more about what it enables. Strategic independence through customized lethality. And that, friends, is the real power. The Rafale fighter jet has been customized with 13 India-specific enhancements to optimize its performance within the Indian Air Force and its operational environment. For many global defense analysts, India's Rafale deal is no longer just a regional event. It's a case study in how middle powers are adapting fifth-generation warfighting doctrines without fifth-gen aircraft. While India did not opt for the F-35 or develop its own stealth fighter yet, the Rafale package, paired with Meteor, SCALP, and Spectra, created an F-4.5 generation force multiplier that blends survivability, multi-role adaptability, and doctrinal autonomy. In strategic terms, that's not an upgrade, it's a paradigm shift. So that's it for today. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share it with fellow defense enthusiasts. This is your host signing off. Until next time.